The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Breece Hall addressed the rumors that he was going to be traded this offseason, and he said a lot about his conversation with Aaron Glenn. We'll talk about what Breece said and much more. Matt O'Leary joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Thursday. Welcome in, everybody. Before we bring on our guest, Matt O'Leary, reminder, tomorrow's the deadline if you want to join us for our AsManiac group by October 19th. Jets hosting the Panthers. Pre-game tailgate at a discounted rate in lot E26. Discounted group game ticket in the lower level, section 129 for $165 per person, which saves you over $60 off face value. And includes a field pass if you're one of the first 75 to lock in your spot. Go, go, go. And you could join us on October 19th for the Jets and the Panthers. Click the link in the description and lock in your spot. Let's say hello right now to the great Matt O'Leary, who joins us now in his weekly spot. Matt, happy Thursday. Final day of Jets minicamp, and then they're off for summer break. And then the next time the Jets report to the facility, 2025, going to get underway with training camp.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I've been loving following along with minicamp and just seeing who's doing what. I totally understand it's minicamp and you take some of this stuff with a grain of salt, but I'm ready for the pads to come on.
100%. And, I think overall, it's been a pretty good minicamp just based on some of the reports. I think the biggest thing is, and I'll knock on wood because we still got one more practice to go, no injuries, but it sounds like the offense, specifically Justin Fields, he has improved. It sounds like all the players are really buying into this coaching staff, and it's early, but I think if you're a Jet fan, you have every right to be cautiously optimistic about this new regime so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I liked what I heard yesterday on the reports from the offense. It seemed like Justin Fields had a good day. Garrett Wilson out there dominating, things you absolutely love to see. And I did a video yesterday, but I'm buying stock in Tanner Engstrand and Breece Hall. I know we're going to get into Breece Hall in today's episode, but both of them spoke and loved what I heard from both of those guys as well.
100%. You mentioned Breece Hall. Let's get into it now on the show. First time that he spoke since all the rumors in the offseason, specifically around the draft, about him possibly being traded. And I thought Breece was great when addressing it head on. This was Breece Hall, the full exchange, being asked about those trade rumors that surfaced around the draft.
As you know, around the draft were all those trade rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Like people thought you were gone, Connor. What was it like for you? How did you process at that time?
I was seeing it just like everybody else was seeing it. But like I said, if people feel like you aren't doing your job, you're going to be replaced. So, it didn't happen. I'm here. AG called me and told me he wanted me to be here. So, for me, that meant a lot. But like I said, I'm here. I'm here to work. I'm here to do my job. So, and prove to them that I deserve to be here.
Did you talk when you saw those rumors pop up? Did you just see what happens, or did you call Aaron? Did you call Darren just to see?
Nah, at first I was just kind of like, okay, we'll just see what happens, and then AG called me and told me that he's like, Breece, do you think I want to trade you? And I was like, I don't know. He was like, Breece, I don't want to trade you. So I want you to be here. You're gonna be here. You're a running back, and so that felt really good. And then just to sit down with him and have a lot of long conversations, and for him to fill me out, for me to get to know him and everything, it's been cool. And to see how our practices have gone and how competitive he likes it to be, and how he likes to put the ball down and just let us play, has been fun.
I love that from Breece. I think it's a good job by Aaron Glenn calling it, but it also gives you a little insight, Matt, into the Jets definitively having Breece Hall in their plans. Glenn has highlighted all three of the running backs during these press conferences, but Breece is the best running back on this team until proven otherwise. And I'm excited about what he could do with the offensive line and seemingly an offense that's tailored towards running the football.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think they're going to be much more run heavy this year, which isn't, a surprise to anyone. And you mentioned the improved offensive line. I think that's going to be a really big part of it too. But, something else, Breece Hall in another quote later on was talking about how Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrand were talking about him as a pass catcher in this offense. And Justin Fields spoke, and one of the first things he said he noticed about Breece Hall was how natural he was at catching the football. And my reaction was like, finally, we have, a staff and a quarterback in place that realizes that, their running back is one of the best dual threats in the NFL. So I do think he's going to be heavily involved running the ball. I think he'll be the lead back there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's second on the team in receptions right behind Garrett Wilson.
100%. And I think the way Breece Hall needs to be utilized, and I've said this for years, look at how Christian McCaffrey is utilized by the San Francisco 49ers. There's no reason why Breece Hall can't be someone that has 2,000 yards from scrimmage in this offense. Like, he's such a dynamic playmaker. This is a guy that 2 years ago was second in the NFL amongst running backs behind McCaffrey in yards from scrimmage. I think that's how the Jets have to try and utilize him. They don't have a great wide receiver too, but you know what? They have a quarterback in Justin Fields that commands so much attention. I could see Breece Hall being a guy on a check down or certain design screens to beat the blitz, where he's going to be an absolute beast out there. And it's a contract year. He's got to prove he can stay healthy and all that. But if he is, I don't see why this guy wouldn't put up a monster season.
Yeah, I'm with you. And, something I'd like to see them do, and you made the comparison to Christian McCaffrey, which I think is a great one, but even just look at the Lions and how they use Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't see why not the Jets could line Breece Hall up as a wide receiver sometimes in certain packages, or, you have two running backs next to Justin Fields and you motion one of them out, and, just make life easier for your quarterback in Justin Fields and get creative offensively to get the ball in your best playmaker's hands.
100%. If you're watching the show live, early start time, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I want to shout out our daily raffle. Let's do something fun for the AsManiacs. At the end of this show, giving away a signed Anthony Beck jersey. Jets radio announcer, former first-round pick, head coach in the UFL or the XFL, whatever they're calling it. I got the jersey right here. I will mail it to you should you win. So if you want to win a signed Anthony Beck jersey, get the channel membership to be eligible. Plus, at the end of tomorrow, we're going to be giving away one of the biggest prizes we've ever given away. That's a full-size Broadway Joe helmet. If you gift to enter the Beck raffle, you're automatically entered in the full-size Broadway Joe helmet raffle, Clyde Frazier jersey raffle, Kevin Mawai jersey, and, of course, Bart Scott jersey. So a lot of prizes will be given away to some AsManiacs over the next few days. Gift memberships to enter. Shout out to Sorry Not Sorry for gifting one membership. And I'll do this. If you want to enter the raffle, if you gift 5 or more, we double it for whoever is first. So if you give 5, you're in for 10. You give 10, you're in for 20 to get us going here on a Thursday. More from Breece Hall, Matt. I want to play you some sound where Breece is being asked about the injury that he apparently dealt with last year. We knew he was on the injury report. We knew he was playing through something. He was asked just how serious was the injury that he had last year.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. If I could have gone back, I probably would have taken a little more time off. But, I feel like the team needed me out there. I wanted to be out there, but I feel fine now. So, God willing, I was able to heal up and be healthy and everything. But I feel great now, so that's in the past. That was that. And now I'm just ready to keep moving forward.
You didn't have any procedures or anything?
Nah, no procedure, nothing, nah.
So no surgery or anything, but I think it was a knee injury that he was dealing with last year. And I think it happened in week 2, if you remember, and then he suffered another sort of lower body injury in that Colts game. I just think this guy was banged up last year. They didn't run the ball a lot. The scheme was awful. The O-line was not good. It wasn't coached properly. I think a lot went against Breece last year, and I think there's a lot to look forward to with him in this running game this year.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, just eye test wise, all year, he almost didn't look right. Like, whether it was a little slow to the hole or just didn't have that breakaway speed that we were used to seeing from Breece Hall. Like as he said, he's fully healthy now, which is great. Hopefully it stays that way. And, as we've been saying here on the show today, it's all lining up for Breece Hall to have a really big year, which is important for him. It's a contract year. And then it's going to be a tough decision for the Jets. Do they decide to keep him, or they give him a long-term extension? Are they franchise tagging him? Ton of options after that.
I mean, spot on with the contract. So, Mad Team Parents with the super chat, he writes in, Breece is playing for his next contract, so he will be and should be highly motivated. And there's a lot of Jet fans being like, well, what do we do? Could we pay him? I don't think you worry about that. Have Breece go out there and have an amazing season. You had the franchise tag in your back pocket. Worst case scenario. Let's see what Breece is in this offense here. You might want to pay him if he balls out in this scheme and they utilize his talents. To me, I'm not really concerned about Breece long-term. It could be his last year with the Jets. It could not be, but I think the best thing for both parties is for Breece to go out there and have a monster season. You figure it out in the offseason.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Kind of, I get asked a lot about Elijah Vera Tucker, and I kind of feel the same way about him as Breece. Just kind of go out there and prove it. They're both in a contract year. If they both stay healthy and have the year that we expect them to, then yeah, let's talk contract extension. Let's talk new deal. It would be a good problem to have if both guys are healthy and play well. And you're thinking about, all right, which one of these guys are we able to pay here, if not both? So that'd be a good problem, a problem I'd like to see the Jets have.
100%. One more from Breece before we get into some other topics around the Jets involving minicamp. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Jets are on the field for the final time before training camp. They have a 6-week break after today, so we will hear from Aaron Glenn one final time this afternoon. This was Breece Hall being asked about the fact that Aaron Glenn multiple times has singled out all three running backs, meaning, hey, Breece Hall, you're not the bell cow automatically. You're not just the guy if the Jets plan on using Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. Breece, how do you respond to that?
The moment you got here or pretty close to it, you've always been like the guy in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Now Aaron Glenn is talking about using all three running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you react to that? I mean, it might not mean as many carries this year, or
Mm-hmm.
because other guys are getting chances. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not obligated to anything. I'm around, new GM, new coaches, a lot of new faces. So for me, I got to go prove that I am the guy. That's every day. I feel like my skill set. I'm a 3-down back and second to none to a lot of backs in the league. So we have a great running back room, a lot of healthy competition. But for my mentality is every day I'm going to prove that I am the best back on this roster, one of the best backs in the league. So I have a quote on my phone that says, "If not me, then who?" I look at it every morning, and that's like my internal motivation because I'm very self-motivated. So that's that.
I love it. Breece Hall out to prove that he is that guy. Is he that guy, Matt O'Leary? Do you believe Breece?
Yeah, I do believe him. I said it a little while ago. I'm buying the stock. I'm buying Breece Hall and Tanner Engstrand stock. I think they have a plan in place for him this year. I love the quote. I think that's the right way to look at it. And, it's not like he's taking a shot at Braylon Allen or Isaiah Davis. He's just saying, look, I gotta prove it. I think I'm one of the best backs in the league, and now it's up to me to go out there and show everyone. And I hope he does. And I think there's a good chance that he does in 2025.
How do you see them using the other running backs? We know that Glenn's high on Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. In your mind, what does that look like exactly in his offense?
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to the Detroit comparison, but it's hard not to when the offensive coordinator and head coach just came from Detroit. But can they have, maybe a poor man's version of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery? And, maybe it's a combination of both Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis serving in that Montgomery role. Both of them are bigger backs and a little stylistically different than Breece. So I'd imagine when you get into short yardage situations and down on the goal line, maybe that's where they'll do most of the work. But, I think it'll be, a healthy rotation. I would expect Breece to get the majority of the reps, but I would think that each of Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen, depending on the week, are going to get their fair share of carries too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we said the first person that would gift 5 memberships or more, we double it. So Norm, go jet yourself, is in the raffle for 10. He has gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go. D. Brown, Johnny Ace, Nangna Iboko, Lawrence Yance, and Alex L. all receiving channel memberships. For those just tuning in, end of the show, going to give away a signed Anthony Beck jersey to one lucky listener. So if you're just tuning in and you want in on the raffle, gift the channel membership, and we'll add your name and spin the wheel at the end of the show. Ricky NY with a super chat. Time for an early smoke and debate. That's right. Matt and I normally go live at 10 a.m. Eastern on Thursdays, but we're both going to the Met game later, so we had to do the show a little bit earlier to make sure we still get the content in. With that said, a lot of other things happening right now with the New York Jets. Let's talk about Justin Fields. It sounds like he's been getting better at these camp practices. Are you higher or lower now on Fields going into training camp based on what's happened here in minicamp?
I'm the same, to be honest. I don't think my anything has been swayed my opinion on one way or the other as a negative or positive for me on Justin Fields. I will say maybe the one thing that I didn't realize or maybe appreciate enough from him is every time he speaks, I think he comes across as someone who is really well respected by his teammates and is showing those leadership qualities. And maybe that's an area that I've been sleeping on a little bit with him. But as far as it goes with on the field, it's hard to have major takeaways from OTAs and minicamp when they're playing with, without pads, and it's very early in the process. But the biggest thing for me that I want to see him improve on is his timing in training camp. I think he needs to work on getting the ball out a little bit quicker, and we've seen that maybe be an issue for him in the past. And if he's to take that next step and hopefully be the franchise guy for the Jets, that's the area I'm looking for improvement this summer.
It does feel like he's got the total buy-in from his teammates. One of the things I thought was interesting listening to Fields is last year when he was in Pittsburgh, he was never the guy, even when he was starting, because him and Russ were competing. The Jets have built this environment where he's the unquestioned starting quarterback. It's his team. And I think that's good for Fields' confidence. And I also think if he is going to break out, like this is his last chance to be able to do it, where he goes into a situation where he's the guy with no one looking over his shoulder. Like if it doesn't work with the Jets, no one's going to hand Justin Fields an automatic starting job after the season.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is his last chance and last opportunity here to prove that he is a guy. So, we mentioned a lot riding on, guys like Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker in contract years. I know not technically a contract year for Justin Fields, but he has a lot to prove. There's been a lot of rumors about the Jets potentially taking a quarterback in next year's draft class if Justin Fields doesn't work out. But, who knows if Justin Fields comes in here and takes that leap, because we know he's talented. It's not an issue of talent for him. He's just got to do it more consistently and put it all together. So really big year coming up for Fields.
Are you encouraged by some of the pass catchers, including Mason Taylor and Josh Reynolds, making some plays during these practices?
Yeah, I am. I think Mason Taylor is going to be a huge part of this offense, and to no surprise, really talented kid coming out of LSU. Love the lineage that he has with his father, with Jason Taylor and his NFL career. And I've been saying it for a while. I really do think that Josh Reynolds is going to end up as that de facto wide receiver too. I say it in air quotes because I don't really know if it matters all that much what it is after Garrett Wilson. But I just think with his past history in this offense and working with, the Detroit Lions and the success he had there a few years ago, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he gets the leg up on Allen Lazard and the rest of the crop.
Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. If you tuned in late, reminder, deadline tomorrow to get your ticket to join us for the AsManiac group buy game. We're doing Jets-Panthers this year. Winnable game, 1 o'clock kickoff. Hopefully the weather is still pretty solid in mid-October. Section 129, if you joined us for our Texans outing last year. Same concept, same section. Tailgate before the game, post-game photo on the field, after the game, discounted group rate ticket. Click the link in the description and lock in your spot. Cincy Matt writes in, anyone else watching the show and using the Squatty Potty? I don't know if you saw the latest Charles Gorman call on my show, Matt, but basically he moved into a new apartment. I sent him a Squatty Potty as a housewarming gift. He used it. He said that he liked it, but when his parents saw it, they didn't like it. And I said, Charles, have they used it themselves? And he said no. And I go, well, that's on them. Matt, where do you stand on the Squatty Potty?
I have not used a squatty potty before, but I'm not against it. I'm open to this idea. Anytime you can make that experience better, I'm all for it.
Also, there's allegations of Charles Gorman being a Patriots fan. He claims this photo was AI. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this as well.
That does not look AI. That looks real, and I'm disappointed in Charles. I thought he was a Jet fan like the rest of us here.
Curly writes in, I got Breece's jersey before last year, so blame me for his downfall. No one is a bigger jinx than Curly. So if you want to know why Breece Hall had a bad season a year ago, you could blame Curly.
Yeah, well, whose jersey is he going to get before this year is my next question, because I want to bet on whoever that is on their season total unders at that point.
Hey, Curly, why don't you buy an Aaron Rodgers Steelers jersey, a Josh Allen Bills jersey, a Baker Mayfield Bucks jersey? All right, take one for the team and allow the Jets to have the best possible path to not stinking this year. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, man. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Emmanuel with a good comment here. Both Breece and Fields have to prove to themselves that they want to be paid and stay Jets for the long haul. Well, specifically with Breece, because he is a free agent. Fields, if he's okay, there's a path where he's the starter next year with a rookie behind him that's getting ready to eventually replace him. Like, I do think, just like Tyrod Taylor was signed to a 2-year deal, and he's now obviously on the team for another season. There's a scenario where Fields is not the unquestioned starter going into 2026 because there's a rookie they drafted that's behind him.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a little bit different because Fields has that extra year on his deal where Breece doesn't. But it's a good point to make that they have a lot to prove this year, because for Breece, he's got to get paid. And for Fields, it's that he's going to continue being the starter and that the Jets don't need to draft a quarterback next year. So a lot on the line for both those guys, and excited to see what they do with the pressure this year.
Boomtown in the house. Matt, what does Breece have to do minimum this season for the Jets to want to extend him long term?
Oh, good question. Well, first thing, I think he has to get over 1,000 rushing yards. But if we're looking at all-purpose yards, I think he's got to be in that 1,800 plus range, which, if memory serves correct, he was pretty close to a couple years ago in 2023. So I think that's really kind of where I'm at. And if he does that, I'd be open to the Jets bringing him back on a contract extension if it makes sense for both sides.
They say you can pay running backs, but the Jets are in a unique spot where they're not paying a quarterback. They're not paying a lot of other guys on this team yet. Even if they extend Sauce and Garrett, the cap hits are going to be low for the first couple of years of the deal. So there's a way they could easily sign Breece long term if he has a big season. He's still young enough where it's not like you're signing a running back who's going to be 30 years old at the end of whatever extension you give out.
Yeah, that's true. He's still in his mid-20s. It's really when these running backs start to get to the later 20s where you don't really want to pay him. And unfortunately, that happened a couple years ago when they brought in Dalvin Cook. He was, I believe, 27 or 28 when they brought him in, and
he was cooked.
Exactly. It's unfortunate, but that's the life of a running back. It goes very quickly. So I'm open to an extension. I don't think it would be a crazy long term, like a 4 or 5 year deal. Probably 2 or 3 year deal, and you keep him through his prime. You have a quarterback on his rookie contract most likely after that. So you're right. I think there is a way to make it work.
What have you made of the comments from Steve Wilks so far? We talked about Engstrand. You and I are both, I think, aligned in that we're encouraged. But I like hearing from Wilks. I think that was one of the best hires Glenn could have made for his defensive coordinator role. I'm very excited about this defense. I think they're going to be pretty good on defense. Like, I think this defense has too much talent for it to be as bad as it was last year, especially after they fired Robert Saleh. What are your thoughts on Wilks and the type of defense they'll be with him as the play caller, and, of course, Aaron Glenn being a guy who was a successful DC before he became the head coach?
Yeah, I'm excited for him too, and I like that he has some head coaching experience to help an otherwise young staff along. And at minimum, I know it was a couple short stints as a head coach. One an interim, the other just the one and done in Arizona, but has been a DC around the league for a long time, has had success. And I think they're going to be really aggressive on defense. With Robert Saleh, they kind of just stuck to their plan. They were going to rush forward. They were going to play zone, and they were going to beat you that way. I think this defense is going to be much more aggressive. I think they will blitz a lot. And with the linebackers that they have with their speed and Jamie and Sherwood and Quincy Williams, I think it could be really successful. And, now that we have official word that Rodgers is with the Steelers and he'll be starting in week 1, I think that's the plan for success. So we saw it last year with the Jets when they played Denver and Minnesota in back-to-back weeks. Those are the two teams that blitzed the most in the NFL last year, and Rodgers really struggled with it. So I think they'll be aggressive, and I think they'll come out firing.
It feels like if the Jets are not blitzing a crap load in week one, they have a poor game plan because you got to challenge Rodgers. First game, new team. Jets have the pass rushers to get home. They have the linebackers. That's what I really want to see. I know Sherwood had a sack yesterday. I was told off the record, but I'll share with you guys, it was on a blitz. So I would love to see the Jets blitz their linebackers a lot more because I just feel like while the defense with Sal was really good at times, it feels like they were too stubborn. This is the only way we're going to do it. And it's like, man, like adjust your game plan based on the quarterback you're playing, based on the opponent. I want to see this team be ultra aggressive and blitz a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. And something else that I like is the philosophies of Wilkes and Glenn are a little bit different. Glenn's more of a man coverage guy and Wilkes is more of a zone coverage guy. So I'm curious to see how they blend those two. It's not like, Jeff Ulbrich and Robert Saleh who had this exact same philosophy and it was, we're going to do it our way and it's up to the offense to find a way to beat them. I think, it could depend week to week how they're playing defensively depending on opponent.
100%. And, when it comes to like this defense, I keep coming back to this. How many defenses in the league have a former All-Pro at all three levels? Quinnen Williams, Quincy Williams, Sauce Gardner, not to mention the other talented players at each level of the defense, whether it be Will McDonald and Germaine next to Quinnen, whether it be Sherwood next to Quincy, Michael Carter next to Sauce. Like, there's too much talent on this defense for them to be as bad as they were for a lot of last season.
Yeah, I think they'll be significantly better than what they were last year. I was disappointed with the defensive unit, especially after Robert Saleh left. It felt like it went downhill, but I think coaching will play a big factor in it. You mentioned it. They have talent at all three levels, and I would expect a significant improvement this year.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. At the end of the show, giving away a signed Anthony Beck jersey. If you get the membership, you're in that raffle. Plus, you're in the raffle on the show tomorrow for the Bart Scott jersey, the Kevin Mawai jersey, the Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, and the full-sized Broadway Joe Namath autographed helmet. All these items come with certificates of authentication. Love it. Nate says, exact things we told Jake when he smelled 4 wins, and now his talking points for a while, they'll be good. Nate, I think they're still going to win 6 games. I'm just trying to be cautiously optimistic here. I've increased my win total from 4 to 6, but I'm not sitting here telling you they're going to be good. So don't put words in my mouth. And since you tried to put words in my mouth, here's what I'm going to do, Nate. I'm going to say, get out of here for 5 minutes, bum.
You get the fuck out.
Oh, man. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Earlier start time here. Has any player, could be a notable player that has impressed you, could be an unsung player that has impressed you, caught your attention here, though, through OTAs and minicamp that you think is being under-discussed to this point?
Yeah, I think someone kind of flying under the radar a little bit is Byron Cowart on the interior defensive line. I've heard his name a lot in both OTAs and minicamp. And, as we know, the spot next to Quinnen Williams on the inside is wide open. It seems like there's going to be a competition there between him and, Noddy and Leonard Taylor. And so far, it feels like he's the leader in the clubhouse. And that's just another guy that I'll be keeping an eye on in training camp. Again, when pads come on, we want to see if their success from minicamp and OTAs continue. But, that's a spot that's wide open. There's no one really written in there yet. And I think Cowart's done a good job of trying to win that job.
It's going to be interesting. Are they just going to rotate guys, or is someone going to emerge as the guy that is going to be like the primary starter next to Quinnen Williams? That's definitely one of the storylines I think in training camp to follow.
Yeah, for sure. And, another spot, too, to add on top of that is safety. That's outside of Andre Cisco. Are they going to rotate guys? Is it going to be Tony Adams? Is it going to be the youngster and Malachi Moore? Those are 2 spots where you said, like, it could be a rotation, or they could just be looking for someone to come in, and be that de facto starter. So I'm with you. Those are 2 spots that are similar in my eyes, and I want to watch it this summer.
Matt, I'm going to play something for you that people said could never happen. Ladies and gentlemen, a live look at MetLife Stadium with grass on the surface. They have a soccer tournament coming up there ahead of the World Cup next year. And Matt, you're looking at grass on the field. Your thoughts on this?
Can they keep it for the NFL season? Do they have to take it out? I know that it's both, Woody Johnson and the Giants ownership. It's not on just one or the other. They both have to decide, but I would love them to have grass. The players prefer to play on grass, and the turf at MetLife has been an absolute disaster for years.
It's just amazing that, we can't do it. It costs too much. And I'm like, what? You're the Jets and the Giants. Spend the money for your players. It's absolutely ridiculous that, when the World Cup's here, we could put grass on the field, but we can't do it for the NFL. Give me a break.
Yeah, they make money hand over fist especially on these TV deals. So that's just an excuse to me, and I don't think it's a good one.
Hey, Emmanuel writes in, guys, keep our unit in your prayers as we will possibly be shipped to Iran real soon and most likely not be able to see you guys in Florida or London. Emmanuel, thank you for your service, my friend. We're thinking about you and your unit as well. Hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. Any question for Matt O'Leary, write it in, and we will bring it up on the screen. The Ghost says, MetLife is a dump. We know that. I think also, here's the thing, right? It's like the worst combination for MetLife. The stadium is bland, right? And the team has had no success whatsoever. If the Jets had been good since they opened up MetLife, I don't think it would be this like beloved stadium, but it wouldn't be as dumped on as it currently is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And you said it. It's not just the field. Like, it's a very Madden generic create a stadium sort of layout, and it's boring. But like you said, if they were at least a little bit successful, I know 2010, the first year that it opened, was clearly their best year. They haven't done anything since then, unfortunately. But at least you could have a couple moments to point to and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that one. But outside of 2010 and the Eric Decker catch in week 16, like, there's nothing memorable coming from that stadium.
It really is unbelievable just how bad it has been. And even the Giants have hosted one playoff game there since MetLife opened, and that was in 2011, the 2012 playoff win over the Falcons in the wild card round. Like that's it. There's been one playoff game there between two NFL teams that shared the stadium since 2010. The biggest games that have been played at MetLife, outside of the Super Bowl that was there for that awful Seahawks-Broncos game, you could argue has been the 2019 Cortiga Jug, where Ithaca kicked the living crap out of SUNY Cortland. Go Bombers. Army-Navy. And, am I missing any other, like, big games that have been played there? There's been some concerts that are pretty big. That's about it.
Yeah, the Eras Tour, making it stop.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah. I don't know what else you could possibly say.
Let's see. Ralphie says worst home field advantage in sports. You know what's crazy though? MetLife could get really loud. Like, I was at the game in 2023 against the Bills Rodgers debut. That was the greatest environment for any sporting event I've ever been in. I've been to the World Series. I've been to a bunch of big playoff games at Madison Square Garden. It gets loud. That's not the issue. The issue is the team just hasn't been any good, which contributes to the home field not being awesome. When you have a lot of visiting fans that will buy tickets from Jet season ticket holders selling their tickets because the team is so bad.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And to draw a comparison to one of my other teams, the Mets, like when they're bad, the Citi Field is empty. But when they're good, like in the playoffs last year and for most of this year, the crowd pops. They're really into it. But you have to give them a product that's worth showing out for.
Boomtown writes in, does Woody get spotted this year wearing his Jets bling again?
I think so. I don't think that Woody Johnson chain is going anywhere. He's going to be rocking that all year.
There is some Woody Johnson news. He's in talks to purchase Crystal Palace. So I don't know if there's any Jet Crystal Palace fans, but that probably sounds like your worst nightmare if another one of your teams is about to be purchased by Woody Johnson potentially.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that team or that league, honestly, but I wonder what that would mean for the Jets. Like, obviously, they play every year now in London, and Woody was a former ambassador over there. So I wonder what the impact that would have on the Jets. But I did see that this morning, so we'll keep an eye on it.
Here's the article I'm reading from here. Woody Johnson, the owner of the NFL's New York Jets, is in talks over $275 million. I'm going to use the American dollar amount investment in Crystal Palace, sources told ESPN, a deal that could clear the path for the FA Cup winners to participate in next season's UEFA Europa League. Palace, who won the first ever major trophy by defeating Manchester City in May's FA Cup final at Wembley, are at risk of being barred from the Europa League due to a multi-club ownership rule violation. Minority stakeholder John Textor also owns a stake in Liga 1 team Lyon. I could be botching this. I don't know anything about soccer. Although Textor has no day-to-day involvement in the running of Palace, who are controlled by Chairman Steve Parrish and U.S. investors Josh Harris and David Blitzer, UEFA rules prevent two teams with the same ownership playing in the same competition unless shares in one club are placed into a blind trust. However, sources said Textor, whose Eagle Football Club also includes Belgian club Darren Brussels and Brazilian team Botafogo, these could be fake names for all I know, is ready to sell his 43% stake in Palace, with Johnson the leading candidate to thrash out a deal. Johnson, 78, served as the United States ambassador to the UK between 2017 and 2021, and he made a previous failed bid to buy Chelsea after previous owner, Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich, was sanctioned by the UK government in 2022 following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So Woody's trying to buy a soccer team, Matt. Your thoughts?
Is he going to sell the Jets then in order to get that, or is he going to own both? Like, doesn't the Jaguars owner have a soccer team and also own the Jaguars? And,
that sounds right.
Yeah, and there's rumblings of them moving over to London. So I just don't want to see a world where there's even just rumblings of the Jets moving out of New York. So that would scare me a little bit.
If Woody owns the soccer team, they're going to play in London even more than they already want to.
Yeah, it's going to be every year.
He's going to want them to play because Crystal Palace, correct me if I'm wrong, is in London. That's where that team is based.
I don't know, so I'll take your word for it.
I think it is, and I only know that because I remember listeners of mine went to the Crystal Palace game because they had a home game when we were there last year for the Jets-Vikings game.
Gotcha. Okay.
To any soccer fans out there, please let us know, or football fans. New Q says, using your feet in soccer is overrated. Woody, day one.
Yes. Yes. Thinking is overrated. Using your feet is overrated.
Oh, my God. Reese says, Woody might be a better owner if he gets a soccer team. Well, let me ask you this. If Woody does own the soccer team, he'll probably be more hands-on with that initially and allow Glenn and Muji to do their thing, I would hope. Like, that could be the only positive. He's going to let the people he hired and oversaw do their thing with the Jets because he's going to be focused on his new toy across the pond.
Yeah, I think that's best case scenario for the Jets here. I think Reese is right where, you know, he just lets it be the Glenn and Muji show and doesn't get his hands all over it.
Hit the like button if you're just here to get. Memberships are low right now, and we're giving away an Anthony Beck jersey. So what I'm going to do is in 3 minutes, because I'm going to give people watching the show on delay some time, I'm going to personally gift 5 channel memberships. So if you want a membership, here's what you need to do. You need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure in your settings you have on the setting that says I want to receive a gifted membership. And whoever gets the memberships that I'm going to gift, you're going to be entered in the raffle. I'm not entering myself. So 5 people will be entered in our Anthony Beck raffle at the end of the show, plus the raffle tomorrow for the big prizes: full-size Broadway Joe helmet, Clyde Frazier helmet, Kevin Mawai signed jersey, and Bart Scott signed jersey. So all that and more given away tomorrow, but I'm going to gift 5 on my own momentarily. If you have a question for Matt, write it in. We're talking all things Jets, talking all things minicamp. How about we talk about Sauce and Garrett? Seems like Garrett's been lighting the world on fire. I don't think anyone's surprised there. What is the confidence level at that extensions for both guys potentially get done before the season starts?
Yeah, I'm hoping right now that or I guess not technically right now, but after minicamp ends, the window of quiet period between now and training camp is when they're able to get something done. I think it makes sense for both sides. I think, you know, you can't ask any more of Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner. They come into the league and then produce right away. And I think it sets a good precedent to the team that if you're drafted here and you come in and you do your job, you're going to be rewarded for it. I can't think of 2 more deserving candidates than those 2.
I think they get both done. I don't know. I just think there's some optimism I'm feeling with that. I think both guys are signed before the season starts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm pretty confident that it happens. I think one of the last times I was on here, we talked about, would it be harder for Garrett or Sauce Gardner for those contracts to get done? Sauce is pretty easy. You have Derek Stingley, who was taking a couple picks before him, just got a big deal. So you could use that as the benchmark. But I kind of keep going back to the Brandon Ayuk deal for Garrett Wilson from last year as the template. So I think you can get it done.
Well, we're talking about two of the guys from that 2022 draft class. I don't know if you saw. Oh, hold on. I thought I was glitching out, Matt. But what was funny as well, I was getting ready to get the 5 memberships I was talking about. I had the show on in the background.
Okay.
So I was hearing myself twice. So I was like, wait a second, is Matt not done? So that no one else could hear that, but just know I was hearing double O'Leary and I was freaked out for a moment. Anyway, I was going to ask you, though, about Germaine Johnson. I don't know if you saw his press conference the other day, but I love that guy. I can't wait for him to be back. Your thoughts on Germaine and what he could bring to this team? When are we going to see the old Germaine coming off the injury?
Yeah, so it sounds like he might start training camp at least on the PUP list, which is fine as long as he's ready to go for the start of the season. But I'm tempering my expectations for the first few weeks. I think it takes him a little bit to get into gear, which is fine coming off a major injury like that. But yeah, he's such an easy guy to root for. I really want to see him have a big year and cash in on a contract extension too. I think he's the best all-around edge rusher that they have. I know, Will McDonald has, had more sacks last year than we've seen from Jermaine Johnson, but I think he's going to immediately improve the run game. And that duo of Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald could be really, really good.
Ricky NY writes in, Woody wants this team to be good and win. He has just hired and trusted the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Things are finally being done the right way, and hopefully he pays attention to how it's done. Whether you agree or disagree with how Woody has operated the team, when he makes the hires, he's proven to let them kind of do their thing. The exception, people will say, well, he fired Robert Saleh. But I'm telling you, Woody never felt connected to Saleh and or Douglas because he was in London when they were hired. Douglas hired Saleh. His brother hired Douglas. Woody took full ownership of Muji and Glenn. And I think ultimately he's going to let them, for better or worse, these first couple of years do their thing. But the old Woody will reappear if this team doesn't win after 2 seasons. That's my feeling. Like, you can't expect an owner to be patient forever if there's not at least some signs of positive results with this new regime. And that's why I think getting off to even a good start this year is so important.
Yeah, set the tone, right? Like in year one, it'd be nice to see them take, a tangible step forward. It doesn't have to be playoffs in year one, but show signs of improvement, show signs of life, and then get over the hump in 2026 and end that long playoff drought. I think we'd be feeling pretty good about this regime if they're able to do that.
Gary K writes in, and Gary, I saw you locked in your game ticket for the Panther game. Looking forward to meeting you in person. NFL rumors. Bobby Midnight wants to hunt down Matt O'Leary at this year's Jets-Panthers game.
There we go. That would be phenomenal. I have yet to meet Bobby Midnight in person, so that's going to have to change one of these days.
Now, hunt down implies that there's animosity, but my understanding is you and Bobby have been on the same page for a long time. He no longer wants your butt on a stick.
Yeah, ever since I went on the show, we've been good, and I like Bobby. I'm a big fan of his work, both on here and on his own channel. So, hunt down, I don't think that provides a maybe negative connotation. It'd be a reunion of sorts. It'd be all positive.
Radical Bongo says, just keep Brick Johnson away from the locker room. Your thoughts on Brick Johnson? Some have speculated that the reason why the Jets are wearing the GoPro cameras, the quarterbacks, is so it kind of looks like Madden for Brick to watch and evaluate players.
I haven't heard that one, but that's great. I'm very excited to see Brick Johnson's take on Jets OTAs and minicamp.
Thunderlips writes in, I wonder how the seating works out for the game. Random or by when you buy tickets, don't want to sit next to Alan. Well, Alan has not bought a ticket, Thunderlips, so you don't have to worry about that. You tell me who you want to sit next to, and I'll make it happen. I'll make sure Bobby Midnight is sitting right next to you so your entire family can enjoy that stench for all 4 quarters of Jets-Panthers. Sound good, Thunderlips? God.
Poor Thunderlips.
All right. Hit the like button if you guys are tuning in. I will mix in some calls if you call in. Right now, there's only one man on hold, and we're going to go to him first because today's a special day. Tonight on Gator's YouTube channel, it is the birthday celebration for little Joey, Beast pet guinea pig.
How you doing, little guy? Are you ready for tomorrow's birthday? Yeah? Are you ready for your birthday tomorrow? Are you getting ready for your birthday? There he is, getting ready for tomorrow. And there's the star of the show.
Beast?
Yeah, I'm laying down a little bit. I just got done with blood work.
How'd it go?
Easy. 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, done within 3.
How's the blood? Do they say that you're a healthy man?
I have to wait. I have to wait for a signal within the next 48 to 72 hours.
I see.
See, McNeil is a very good hospital. I got friends in that department over there as well. They know me for almost 30-some years, and it's good. It's a good thing. And today's going to be another. You know what this means? Sticky. So it's called. You better get your pools ready. You better get your air conditioners ready. It's gonna be another sticky day.
Hey, Beast, can you demonstrate to my audience proper pool cannonball etiquette?
Whoa! Hey, whoa! I ain't 25 anymore, my friend. I'm more 41.
How about a belly flop?
Back in those days, I used to be able to, but unfortunately, those days are.
How about a belly flop? Belly flop off the dock.
How about we glide it? How about we just glide in the air like I did yesterday with that Brandon Elliott dive? A little bit of an HB Elite dive.
A little halfback dive. All right, here we go.
Get ready! Red 43! Red 43! Move side! 3 side! Touchdown, baby! Ah! Come here! Yeah! Ah! That's how you do it! Ah!
You get the out.
Tremendous.
That was great.
Are you going to be tuned into the Little Joey birthday spectacular tonight on Gator's channel?
I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah, this is a really big moment here. Do we know how old he's turning?
1.
Oh, 1. Oh,
yeah.
So first birthday. That's even more reason to celebrate.
Now, I learned yesterday, Matt, that in guinea pig years, every year is actually 13. So little Joey's a teenager today. He's officially a man in the Jewish religion.
Okay, so bar mitzvah time for our guy.
Yeah, it's a birthday party / bar mitzvah later if you want to go down that path as well.
Love it.
Comments, questions, super chats. We got one from Kyle Clifton who joins the raffle for 2 with this one. Once again, for those tuning in late, we're doing a morning show a little earlier than normal. Anthony Beck signed jersey at the end of the show for 1 lucky AsManiac. So Kyle's in that raffle for 2. Does Beast know that guinea pigs need to be acquired in pairs? Where's the other one? Is that true? I didn't know that. Hey, Beast, is there another guinea pig? Is what Kyle's saying here accurate?
Right now, I can only afford 1 for now. And hey, he's happy. He's happy where he's at right now. He's enjoying himself right now. He's having his nap right now. So hey, it's however you want to do it. If you want 2, you can have 2. You can have 3. You can have 3. I have a friend in Germany who has 5 guinea pigs. It's called Watch the Channel. Go to Little Adventures. It's on YouTube. The lady from Germany, I know her very well. She's taken good care of all her guinea pigs very, very well. So go check the page out. It's not that difficult. It's not rocket science. Take your time. Enjoy. Now seize the day and Hakuna Matata for everybody.
Talking Dom says, Beast has become what Bobby once was, a mockery of this show.
Wow.
You know what? Ignore child behavior. I'm going to ignore that. That's a little. That's not going. I'm not going to go down this road because it's somebody's birthday, and I'd rather have an appropriateness instead of going off the rails. No comment. Move along.
I can't just move along, Beast. All right, there's order around here. Ralphie says it's more than a celebration that he survived a year living with Beast and a year on this planet. Would you like to respond to Ralphie?
Hey, I've been on this planet for quite some time. I've actually studied the planet very, very well. I might not be a geography major, but unfortunately, I am only a TV radio guy. That's what I took in college, and that's the way I'm going to keep it for the rest of my life until the day I go.
Okay. Beast, thank you for the time. Happy birthday to little Joey.
Hey, And tonight, as DDP once said, tonight,
Rejected. Sorry.
Yeah. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. All right, I'm going to give 5 channel memberships right now. So, last chance. If you hear my voice, you better click the like button. You better subscribe to the channel. And since we started the show early, you have great chances to win this raffle because there's not as many people watching live as there normally would be if we started the show at our usual 10 a.m. hour time. But 5 memberships were just gifted by yours truly. So, if you hear your name called, you thank me for your membership. Jeff Seawald, Chris Westerman, Rob T, Andres 1K, and Adam Cavender. All 5 of you guys, I will enter you in the Anthony Beck raffle coming up. And since I gifted a membership and I could play a video of my choice, Matt, this is for you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Charles Gorman, everybody. One of the all-time greats. 5 memberships have been gifted. Oh, as I said that, we got way more memberships being gifted. Dre is in the raffle for 5. Yeah, Dre.
We are mama way.
Let's go. Oh, wait. There's more. Green Gang, who won a CJ Mosley jersey on the show recently. He is in the raffle for 5. And the Jinx himself, Curly Norman, who ruined Breece Hall's year last year, he gifted a channel membership to join the raffle fund as well. Let me rattle off these names, and then we will ask Matt a little rapid fire at the end here. Last chance for Matt to answer your question if you have one. Fire Aaron Glenn, Colton Narduzzo, Percy, A Tribe Called Monroe, K. Panch, Jay Chucky, all receiving memberships. Cartman, Trice G, John Stelly, Rocco Pesce, and Simple Eats, all receiving channel memberships. Matt, it appears like the kicking competition for the Jets is well underway. Do you believe it's going to be Anders Carlson, Cade York, is that the guy's name, or the other option, C, someone not on the roster that is the Jet kicker?
I think I saw somewhere they're trying a couple guys out today, so we'll see if any of them stick. But Anders Carlson is my early guess. I feel like he's kicked the best. If that continues into training camp, like my take on it is just I don't have allegiance to either one. Whoever's better, keep him. Like last year, Greg Zuerlein did not look better, but they were paying him more, so they decided to keep him. Just whoever's better in training camp, but I think it'll be Carlson.
Love it. All right, here we go. Potentially the last call with Matt, unless anyone else calls in. Hep is on the line. What's up, Hep?
Hey, guys. Hey, fellas. Hey, Matt, I was wondering, I haven't seen Green Bean in almost about a month. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's good with Green Bean. He's a little busy in the personal life right now, so he's just taking a little bit of a break during this quieter time.
Okay, because it's not like him to be not on the Jet Nation, that kind of a thing. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Thanks, guys.
How about that? Hep calling in for an update on the great Green Bean. Now, Green Bean's alive and well. I was watching him with you guys on Talking Jets the other night. You guys brought back the show for a week. It was good to see.
Yeah, we brought it back because we have our own ticket buy that we wanted to come on and let our audience know about. We're going to do week 1 against Pittsburgh, and we're making a whole weekend out of it. And I guess not being on the air from him, he had a lot of pent-up energy, and he was just – that was a special episode for our guy, Green Bean.
It was so funny because when I tuned in, you guys were talking about some sort of like wax butt cushion seat. And I was like, this is peak June Jets talk, what I just clicked on here.
Yeah, so he was saying that every year he gets his wife, like whatever the traditional gift is for the year. I think like year 1 is paper, and then one of them was wax. And he was like, I wanted to do wax butt cheeks, but it was way too expensive to get those made. So he went with the candle instead. But just classic June Jets talk this time of year.
Yeah, we know that well this time of year. The months of June and July until you get to like the last couple days of July when camp starts, it really separates the haves from the have-nots and who can make content year-round talking about a football team that has not made the playoffs since 2010.
it's really remarkable what we do. Trying to talk about this team every day that is just god awful.
It's unreal. We look, obviously this fan base deserves a winning season, but you and everyone who does this, especially like you and I who do this full time, like we deserve a winning season, damn it.
Yes.
We're not even asking for a Super Bowl. 9-8 would be amazing for our subscribers.
I would sign up for 9-8 in a heartbeat. That sounds almost as good as the Super Bowl sounds right about now.
Ricky writes in, Jake just had to get to now Glenn the person, coach, and see how his/our players respond to him, and that win total prediction will keep creeping up. It'll be 8 or 9 by week 1. Ricky, it's going to be very hard for my win total prediction to get to 8 or 9. I just have too many questions about Fields, this entire coaching staff. I'm not saying it's improbable for them to do that. I'm just done buying in until I see it. I'd rather have my expectations low and the Jets overachieve than be where they've been the last few years, where I was all in and truly believed in this team, and they failed me in ways I can't even comprehend how bad it really was.
Yeah, you're in a prove it to me phase, which is fine, right? Like you're going in with 6 wins. My record prediction is 7-10, but I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe they could overachieve that mark and come in at 8 or 9 wins. That'd be really nice. I would sign up for that in a heartbeat.
You believe in achievement like Dave Brigham does.
I do.
Let's see. Great super chat here from Thunderlips. She says, Jake, I want you to share a seat with my wife, and I want my seat directly behind you. You got it, Thunderlips. We'll make that happen at the Jets-Panthers outing that Thunderlips is bringing his family for. I got you in the raffle at the end of the show as well, Thunder, for 5. Thank you very much. Let's see. David wants to know. I just highlighted this comment here. Where'd it go? It was a question about your marriage, Matt.
Oh.
I don't know where it went, though. Where'd this go? I don't know where it was. I think the question was essentially, do you have everything squared away for your wedding in November?
I'm working on getting the suits. We had a little issue. Oh, okay. All details squared away. We are just about there. I've just got to get the right suits. We went to both Men's Warehouse and Joseph A. Bank, and they didn't have the right color. So just focusing on that now. We're going to check out if there's some place in Amityville, I think, this weekend. So
what color suit are you going to be rocking?
Navy with a gray vest and maroon bow tie.
Nice. Now, are the groomsmen all wearing the matching suits?
Yes, all matching suits. They'll have a regular standard long tie. I'll have the bow tie to differentiate, but I like a navy suit with the brown shoes, brown belt. So it's gonna be a nice, classy look.
Why don't we do this? Let's throw it out there to the Asmaniac O'Leary community here that's watching the show. If anyone works in high-end suits and wants to hook Matt O'Leary up with a deal, I'm sure he'd be happy to shout you out on his platforms that reach thousands upon thousands of Jet fans every day. So if you work in the suit and tailor game, hit up Matt O'Leary. Right.
Yes, that's a good call, Jake. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got to use your cachet in the Jet community, man. People want to help you.
This is true. Like a good friend, Crossfire, he came over and did some electrical work when I first bought the house. So
really,
yes.
That is awesome. Crossfire is great, man. He's been supporting you guys for so long on that show.
Yeah, he's the best.
Let's see. Envalette writes in, Quinnen is all world. How about giving him a lead in the fourth quarter so he can crush some quarterbacks? Well, we talked about this a little earlier, Envalette. I think who's lining up next to Quinnen is going to be huge. I think getting Germaine back is huge. Like, I expect Quinnen Williams to have a much better season this year than he had last year. And he wasn't bad last year. He just wasn't as dominant as he was the previous 2 years.
Yeah, they got to play with a lead, and I think that would help not only Quinnen, but Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson when he's back and healthy. So I agree with this comment. I think it would definitely benefit this defensive line when they could just kind of pin their ears back and get after the quarterback.
Ralphie says, we know where he could get $1,000 shoes. Nicholas, will the shoes be supplied by Bonesy? You should hit up Mr. Bonesy for some wedding shoes, man. That's not a bad idea.
That isn't a bad idea. I should reach out to Bones.
And look, he's not just a shoe salesman, as you know. Mr. Bonesy is also one of the most accomplished lawyers that you're going to be able to find out there as well.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
If you
I'm dying at this comment from Mike. Get your print up and shoes at the same shop. That's funny.
Love it.
That's funny. Matt, any final thoughts before we let you run? I'm actually going to lift the curtain. I'm seeing Matt in a few hours. He's going to the Met game today as well, and he's stopping by the ESPN New York pregame party in Lot E. So I look forward to saying hello to Mr. O'Leary in person, but I always appreciate you hopping on the show, Matt.
It's always a blast, Jake. Thanks again for having me, and kind of ready for some quiet time now. Get a little reset button before cranking it up for training camp. But again, appreciate you having me as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt O'Leary, NY. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Follow him on social media. Matt's one of the best when he's covering the New York Jets. All right, open phone lines. For those of you who want in, I'm still collecting raffle names. The raffle's going to be tomorrow. This could be the last show before that raffle. I might do the raffle on the first show tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear back from my guest, and depending on if that guest is coming on in the morning or afternoon, we'll determine which show I do the raffle on. So stay tuned for that. I'll post it in the Discord what the plans are for those of you asking. But in case this is the final show before the raffle, reminder that tomorrow we give away a Joe Namath helmet, a Frazier signed jersey, a Mawai signed jersey, and a Bart Scott signed jersey as well. Frank P says, I still can't gift or super chat. Frank, if you want to use Venmo to get in the raffle, I'd be happy to make the exception for you because you've been a long time supporter of the show. My Venmo is just Jake-Asman. If you want to do it that way, and I'll make sure we account for your entries. Boomtown says, quiet time, ? We can't have that around here. It's never too quiet on this show. Now, Gent News, it could be quiet. But on this show, you never know what is going to happen. And that's what makes this a show unlike any other show. Because at any given moment, you could receive a phone call from someone you're not expecting. You could get a Charles Gorman call that could change the fabric of this community. Like what happened the other day for those who missed it.
Were
you wearing a Patriots jersey yesterday?
No, that's just bullshit done by Dixon, yes.
Interesting. Matthew wants to know how you think the Patriots will do.
I'm not talking to that piece of shit.
Whoa! You know, that's actually a great point. Robbie Sabo, by the way, he didn't know what a squatty potty was. And I told him.
My parents showed it to my parents. They don't like it.
Have they ever used it themselves?
No, but they don't like the squatty potty.
Well, they haven't tried it. It's scientifically proven.
If you're going to call me a fan of a team that I like a certain player on, then screw you guys. You guys have no proof that I'm an actual Patriot fan.
Nate writes in, what has Charles done today to pursue?
Nate, mind your own fucking business.
Whoa, whoa. Let's be civil on this show. We're a family program. Oh, my God. My son just explained to his friend, this guy calls into shows and takes dumps, and then my dad did it to him.
I don't take dumps on people's shows all the time.
So OJ didn't kill people all the time, but he was labeled as a murderer. You see the point?
Yes. Well, I wanted to tune in to see what Bobby was doing, and I had to take a shit. Well, there's a lot of Indian places.
What do you mean Indian places? Like Indian restaurants?
I'm living in a big Indian community here in Island.
Gator wants to know if you live on an Indian reservation. Yeah, are we talking American Indian or Asian Indian? Are you the head tribal chief? Sean wants to know.
I can't be a head tribal chief if I'm not Indian, so no.
I mean, Charles makes a good point. Can't be the head tribal chief unless you are Indian. Marcus says, Gorman not messing around. No, he's not. Emmanuel says, Jake dropped the bomb with that OJ quote. I mean, am I wrong? OJ didn't always kill people, but he was still listed as a murderer, labeled as that. Charles Gorman called into another man's YouTube show and dropped the deuce. People don't just forget that. That happened. That was real. You don't get to just escape that. Actions have consequences. Am I wrong? Three Siblings says, OJ didn't do it. And my hair isn't red. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to the great Papa Jet. Hello, Papa. Papa, unmute your mic and we'll be able to hear you.
You got me, Jake?
What's up, Papa?
Hey, as far as Charles goes, I mean, every time he farted on his show, everybody laughed at him. So there was no other way to go but him taking it to the next step, you know? But anyways,
no other way.
Yeah. As far as the owners go, I think they should be doing everything they can for the players. So as far as grass fields, there was another owner, and I forgot who it was last year, and he said it easier said than done. And I think that's bullshit because they're billionaires, not millionaires. They could do a grass field.
Agreed.
No problem.
I think it's ridiculous to think that they couldn't have grass for a full season when you have two NFL teams sharing the stadium. It's crazy to me.
It's yeah. And I might be in the minority here, but I don't like Thursday games. I just think it's unfair to the players. They don't get much rest after a Sunday. I know it's the league's just making money off it, but other than Thanksgiving games, because it's tradition, I don't agree with Thursday games. And now they're doing like a Christmas night game. I don't believe in that either. In fact, I'm probably in the minority, but if Christmas fell on a Sunday, I think they should do Saturday games. I think players should be with their families, but that's just me. And as far as JJ goes, I'm really rooting for him. He's a great player, great human being, but man, coming off that type of injury, history is not good, especially for his position, because they got to explode off that first step,
Maybe not in year one, but there's plenty of examples of guys who had that injury and get back to peak levels of performance they were before the injury.
Yeah. I guess I'm just talking about maybe Lawson. I know he didn't really do nothing after that, And I think Phillips, the guy from Miami, I don't know what he did last year, but I know he blew Achilles out too. But I'm hoping for the best for him because man, he was on the way up. We could be dominant on the line again if he makes it back. But other than that, Jake, that's all I got.
Papa, we lose you?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yep. No, good call, Papa. I understand your concerns with Germaine. What I would tell you is this. Carl Lawson was already on his second contract. He was older than Germaine. Germaine's young. I think it's different. Here are some notable players that came back from their Achilles injuries and ended up being great players again. Adrian Peterson. Kevin Durant, if you want to use basketball. Terrell Suggs. Demaryius Thomas. R.I.P., former Jet, by the way. Cam Akers. Adam Wainwright in baseball. Richard Sherman. Emmanuel Sanders. Jason Peters. I mean, Rodgers threw 28 touchdowns this past year. And he was 39 when he had the injury. Like, there's a lot of guys. I just Googled it. Those are the names that were coming up. Now, as far as Thursday Night Football, it's not going anywhere because it makes too much money. It is what it is. And when you're the home team on Thursday night, you're at a distinct advantage. That's how the Jets, who stunk last year, were actually undefeated on Thursday night because they played their 2 home games on Thursday night. Both their Thursday games were at home. It helps. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess Frank figured out how to gift. It's working for him. A 20 spot of channel memberships. Let's go, Frank P.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Frank has tied Norman Go Jet Yourself for the most raffle entries in our Anthony Beck signed jersey raffle at the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's raining memberships. And when it rains, I need to take out my Gustbuster umbrella, the #1 umbrella in the universe. Here we go. 20 names to read off. Thank you to Frank. He's been a long supporter of the show. And if you hear your name, you are, in fact, a channel member because of him. Tuan Hayam, Tom Latz, Dan C., Donnie Burden, Pat Morgan, Illuminati Bot, Greg Lott, Mikey Mann, Kelvin Joseph, a Senku 11K, Aaron Nathan, William Sprague. What's up, Bill? Hope all is well with you. JK, J Long, Schnitzel, Keen Brown, Jets and Barbells, Danny Melendez, Vince Milton, Raheem Smith, all receiving channel memberships from the Frank P. Frank, thank you very much. I think Frank won, memory serves, a Curtis Martin Hall of Fame helmet in one of our raffles a few months back. So, Frank, thank you very much. Last chance for you guys to gift. We don't have a ton of callers today. The show started earlier than usual because I have a work thing with ESPN New York at Citi Field. So, appreciate Matt coming on earlier than he normally does here on a Thursday. Kyle Clifton is in the raffle with 2 more entries. And when OJ wasn't killing people 2 at a time, he was actually a very nice person. True story. OJ Simpson still in the Buffalo Bills Ring of Honor. I went to Jets Bills on Thursday Night Football in 2016 when Fitzpatrick came back and threw for like 370 yards and the Jets won. And I thought we were going to be a good team after they had that brutal week 1 loss to the Bengals at home. Well, it turns out the Bills just sucked and the Jets were just not as bad. But anyway, when I was there at that dump of a stadium, I noticed O.J. Simpson was in the Ring of Honor still. Gator writes in, Papa Chad, 100% sure NFL needs to stop separating players and fans from their families on Christmas. It's bad enough they do it on Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving is like, it's such a tradition to do it. Christmas, I kind of understand, but I mean, here's the thing. If Christmas falls on a Sunday, fine, or a Saturday, fine, you want to do a game, I get it. Like the NBA plays on Christmas every year. I'd rather watch football, to be honest with you, even though I go to the Knicks game now every year because the Knicks usually play the first NBA game on Christmas at the Garden. That was the Mikal Bridges versus Wembanyama game this past year, oh, by the way. But as far as NFL on Christmas, like if it's a Wednesday, like I kind of get it. I do. That said, if it's a Saturday or Sunday and the NFL wants to do a game on Christmas or games, I'd rather that than basketball, so I'm in. It's all about money, though, man. The players want to get paid. Well, this is what comes with getting paid. The NFL could sell a TV package to Netflix. Someone look up what Netflix paid to get the rights to Christmas games. They paid, it's in the billions. It's insane. Incel Allen says, most of us work holidays. Yeah, I mean, in my radio career, I name a holiday, I've worked it. I'm working July 4th this year. I'm on for 4 hours before Yankees Mets at Citi Field on ESPN New York. Let's see. I'm working, for those who want to listen, not that you guys will remember this as far out, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. I'm actually doing, so I'm doing 4.5 hours. Wow. On July 4th. You talk about a guy that works, right? Ladies and gentlemen, there's no one that works quite like this guy. How's it going, Beast?
Okay, I'm just loading up the old Price is Right bingo. Just got to keep my mind going. And 4th of July's coming up. It's almost
that time, baby.
Time to do a little pew, pew. Oh, and remember, don't touch any of them M80s or you'll be hearing these. Hit the deck. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do when an M80 goes off. You hit the deck. You don't hit the deck, then you're going to have no hearing. You'll be going, I can't hear. That's what you got to do. You got to be prepared. And remember, 4th of July, take proper precaution. And remember, if you're working with fireworks, don't let those kids touch any of the fireworks. Let the proper adults do it. And remember, have a great day and have some fun. Hakuna Matata.
Hey, Beast, have you ever launched fireworks on your own?
Back in the day, but not like I used to nowadays. Oh, a couple days ago, a great singer passed away by the name of Rick Derringer passed away.
How about Brian Wilson passed away yesterday?
Yes, I know. I heard. These guys will be truly missed. And you know why they're going to be missed? They were great legends. But we got to move on. We have to go forwards now. Everything is the way it is. We grow up, we grow old, and we go. Oh, I will be watching on July 4th that Yankees Mets match that you said it's at Citi Field.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is going to be a dogfight. Expect the dogfight to break out, and I know a lot of the Mets fans do not like Juan Soto this year because
they like him now. He's hitting.
Oh, he's finally hitting. I see.
Yeah.
Well, after how long? After how long? Going like, okay, finally. Okay, let's see what happens from here. But I think we're gonna see a good fight, good clean fight. I don't know who's gonna win it, but hey, whoever comes out on top, may the best team win.
Hey, Beast, before I let you go, since I am going to Citi Field for the game today, can you give us a little tutorial on your swing?
Oh, now the perfect swing for this. Now, if you really want to get a good shot, you need the right kind of a bat. I've used this for so many years. The best is yet to come.
Hey, Beast, can you move your microphone before you do the swing because it's blocking you?
See me. Hold on, sir. Hold on there, Senor Jake, also known as Senor. Now, let's get it. Roger Maris steps up to the plate, number 9. Maris looks at the plate. Maris looks at the 3-2. There it goes, back to the wall in the right field. She's gonna go. It's gone.
Who cares? All right, home stretch of a shorter show here. Ladies and gentlemen, this man wants me to sit next to his wife when we go to Jets-Panthers all together. Thunder Lips is on the line. What's up, Thunder Lips?
Funny. You know I'm just joking, right?
No, I don't think you are, actually.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yep.
yeah, when I go on when I was on Bobby's show, like whatever, on his stream the other day, like, he was excited that I was going to the game. And he's like, I'm going to give you a hug and give your family a hug and your wife and stuff. And I told her, and she's like the opposite of me. She doesn't like to touch, well, me, but like, she's an introvert. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm not hugging a stranger. She's like, I'm not touching anybody. But hey, so for that whole shit with Gorman with the Wes Welker stuff, I mean, I can understand liking a wide receiver from another team because I loved Hines Ward and Steve Smith. You know what I mean? Like, I like their energy. I loved watching Hines Ward like block and shit like that. You know what I mean? But like liking, someone in your division and like always watching them, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Was there a wide receiver that wasn't a Jet that you fucking just like love to watch?
Good question. I mean, like, I'm trying to think, like, growing up, I really only like Jet players, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't really care for non-Jets. Like, I respected, like, Peyton Manning because I always rooted for him when he'd go up against, like, Brady because I hated the Patriots so much. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely not anyone that I would single out. I mean, I truthfully was a huge fan of Brandon Marshall, so when the Jets traded for him, I was pumped. But, like, I can't say, like, I loved watching him. Like, I only cared for Jet players.
Yeah. I mean, I guess fantasy, like, when fantasy came out or got, like, really popular, kind of, like, my oldest, when he got into it, I felt like he always had Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. So he would always watch, like, Saints games, too. And, like, when the Jets were fucking just dog crap, you know what I mean? That he's always like, can we put the Saints game on just because he had Michael Thomas and stuff on his team? But it's like, you got to build character and go through all the losing and trash seasons because it's going to pay off. You know what I mean? But for Beast's birthday,
I liked, real quick,
up?
you mentioned the Saints. I liked Marcus Colston because he went to Hofstra. And I would go to Jets training camp at Hofstra. So I would root for Hofstra players.
Yeah, I remember he went to Hofstra, like, Wayne Corbett and him, right? That's like the Hofstra alum. That's it.
Willie Colon is also a Hofstra guy. There could be other NFL Hofstra guys. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that was around the time like Joe Horn was on the Saints too, right?
Yeah, that was.
That was when celebrations were freaking rampant. Like using the cones and proposing. Like that shit was so much fun. Like when they used to, they changed all the
cell
rules.
phone he had, yeah.
I know, yeah, and he had it. Oh man, it was awesome. It was a show, but shit changes. But for Beast's little Joey's birthday party, how is that gonna run? Like, is Gator gonna have it like where it's like a Zoom meeting, or is it just gonna be Gator and Beast, you know, walking around with little Joey in like a kangaroo pouch going into a septic tank pool? You know, it should be interesting.
Yeah, my understanding is it's going to be like a full-on show, but Beast is very strict about who he's going to allow to join the party. You have to have been invited, but it will air on Gator's YouTube channel live at 7 Eastern. I've been posting the link in the chat for Gator's YouTube channel, but just type in Gator Sports on YouTube and you'll see it.
Yeah.
And that's the place to watch Lil Joey's birthday spectacular.
I subscribed to his channel, I think, I don't know, maybe like over a week ago or something like that. But like the shorts will pop up, and he is super talented. He's very funny, like the movie reviews, like for Alien and shit like that. He does everything very well, and it's very funny, good sense of humor and shit. But
Gator's the man, and his sports channel. Let's see how many subscribers he's at right now. Gator is at Gator Jets is the actual YouTube handle. It's Gator McCluskey Sports. He's at 480 subs. So I want to get Gator over 1,000 so he can truly start monetizing that channel. Gator just posted the show link himself in the chat for everyone who's not watching live. So Gator Sports, that's the YouTube channel. Check it out, folks.
So on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I carpool, my kid goes to baseball. So when I called the other day and they were doing the bunny ears and shit like that behind my head, explaining to like my kids, like my 13-year-old, his friends, like what the show is about is fucking impossible. And usually they have usually they listen to like music on their headphones, and I have it playing through my speaker of my truck. But like when the crazy stuff goes on, like his friend Landon will just be like, "What is going on? Like, what do they talk? Like, what do they talk like with Gorman and the farts and stuff?" He's like, he poops on people's shows, and I'm like trying to explain. And my 13-year-old's like, "This is my dad's group of girlfriends that he talks to and stuff." So he just my son toasts me every time I call in and shit. So, but anyway, bro, have a good one. Always love the show. You make the work day go by so much faster. So you have a good one, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person as well. You and your fam. That's awesome that you guys are coming. Yeah, it's funny because I get this question all the time from people who don't watch this show. I've said this before. How do you talk about the Jets you're around? And I go, well, I kind of do and don't. It's a show about the Jets. And I think we cover Jets news as well as any show when there's real news and analysis that's needed. But it's also a show that is driven by the lives of Jet fans. And just football fans, too, because we have a lot of non-Jet fans who watch the show, too, which is great. It's pretty wild, man. You never know what's going to happen on the show. That's why you can't miss it, even in June, even in July when there's not a lot of actual news. You know, if you miss a show, like you can miss something as wild and crazy as this.
You got to fix the internet up, man. We want to hear what you got to say, you know?
Well, don't worry. I got something to fix it. The very first part of the day.
Or you might miss something like this.
I'm going to get gonorrhea and kiss on the cheek. Yeah. Oh, I got gonorrhea. Oh, my God, I got gonorrhea. Kiss my cheek. Gonorrhea. You have to have sex to have gonorrhea.
Like, you just never know, you know? Or if you miss a show, you might miss something crazy like this.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. You got to tune in every day. Because you could also miss something like this.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, we head live to New York City, where Nate joins us live from the bike. Hello, Nate.
Morning, Jake. I like the early morning, Jake. Earlier morning, Jake. Did I hear you're going
to the Mets game today? Yeah, I want to see you, Nate.
Yeah, you're going to a top 5 ballpark in the MLB today. What's any occasion, or did you just want really good food and good baseball?
I will be there with ESPN New York. We have our annual pregame tailgate with our morning show.
Wow, no invite? Crazy.
You are invited. You want to go?
All right. I'll put you on the back of my bike. I told you. I'll come pick you up right now. We'll ride out in 35 minutes, door to door.
Honestly, it would be faster to go with you than it would be to take the 7 line.
That's the only reason I'm at every game, is because it's 40 minutes door to door, and I don't have to deal with any other human beings leaving the game or going to the game. I don't really like the 7 train. And in general, if anybody knows the 7 train, there's always a lot of issues. So I like being in control of where I'm going, clearly. I did miss most of your show, though. But shout out to for kicking me out early. For our talking points, shout out to the chat. Jake, how do we get you by 9 wins by preseason? Do you think there's any way?
I think there's too much that has to happen for me to feel confident in that.
I think there's only one thing that has to happen. Aaron Glenn's a good coach. We're gonna win games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been making this point forever, but we were so excited about this roster 2 years ago, and most of the starters are back. You said it about the all pros and the Pro Bowlers on the defense. Most new coaches don't take over a defense that's essentially stacked if our pass rushers come back healthy. I don't know. It just seems like all of our issues are going to be fixed, which probably means we're going to have 8 new issues that none of us saw coming, and we're going to have but as of now, it's like hopefully we're going to, not hopefully, but we're going to run the ball and we're going to stop the run. That's pretty much all like Aaron Glenn cares about. It's like if Steve Kerr coaches your team, you're going to shoot a lot of threes. So I don't know. I'm optimistic, but at the same time, there's less hype because the Jets are doing that intentionally. Like last year there was come to mini camps, and I just feel like there was so much more social media presence, and even just in general, more, Aaron Rodgers press conference. Aaron Rodgers was on McAfee every Tuesday talking about how training camp was going and everything. So I don't know. In general, there's we seem to be kind of on the back burner. So if we do win this year, I don't know. It reminds me a lot of 2009, and I know other people have drawn those comparisons, and I know, what is it, BJF or somebody says it's like last year's Mets, the 2024 Mets. But remember when we had Sanchez and we had a solid defense, like Rex took over Mangini's team, which was really good and really talented. But we played, I think, the Texans week 1, and then we came home. We handled the Texans on the road, and then we came home where Rex Ryan left the voicemail, and we beat Brady at home, which was one of the more louder home games at Giant Stadium, at least that I can remember. But it's set up that same way. Like, if we somehow beat Aaron Rodgers, which would be way cooler than beating the Texans, and then we're home week 2 versus Buffalo, like that both of those games are going to be electric. So, and then obviously you could flip the coin on the other side, and if we're 0-2, season's probably over at that point for all of us Jets fans. So I don't know. I'm really excited.
I think the better comp, Nate, is probably 2006, right? First year coach, team was coming off a 4-win season with Herm. There wasn't a lot of optimism about Pennington. Is he going to be healthy? They had a really good draft, and they had one of those years where everything kind of clicked. Mangini was a finalist for Coach of the Year. He's on The Sopranos making a cameo because of how good of a job he did as a genius. I feel like 06 might be the better comp because Pennington is kind of like Fields, whereas like Pennington had more success than Fields has had to this point, but there was still like an upside with Pennington if he's healthy. I think there's an upside with Fields, obviously. We know he's talented. So I think 06 maybe is the comp. If this draft class, which the early returns are pretty good about Membu and Taylor and A.Z. Thomas and Malachi Moore, even Arian Smith, apparently, according to Nick Farias, Jerry Rice. So, I think 06 might be the better comp. But I see what you're saying about 09.
Maybe the schedule. Yeah, just the schedule. You would know better 06. 06, I was living in Vienna, Austria, playing soccer and watching Viennese soccer on TV. I didn't even know what the Jets were, probably, until I returned to the States and fell in love with Mark Sanchez.
Love Mark. I'm trying to get Mark on the show. That's a bucket list guest.
Yeah, that's a tough get, but shout out to Mark. He's I never thought he would be the best quarterback in my lifetime. It's a tough 15 years. It's been about a mile from Bonesy. Is Bonesy in the chat? Stop by on my way uptown.
I have not seen Bonesy in the chat, but I think you should go to Bonesy's and just walk in there.
All right, I'll do it. I usually pass by, and if there's other guys are there, I don't say anything.
You're not a Joe Bonesy fan?
No, not Joe Bonesy. Of course, I'm stopping in. He's got two other schmucks that work there on the off days when Bonesy's home. They're a little awkward, so I usually don't stop in and say. Plus, I talked to Bonesy forever, and I still don't know, or if he probably told me his name drunk at a T-Squared event, so like I don't remember his name, so I'm just like, hey, Mr. Bonesy here, and they're just looking at me. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm not. So I avoid that Mr. Bonesy or Joe Bonesy interaction.
He's one of the greats, that Bonesy. Let me tell you.
But Jake, you need to ride to City Field. I'm about a mile away. We'll pick you up and we'll cruise out there.
I appreciate it, Nate.
As long as you fit the weight limit.
What is the weight limit?
150 pounds plus or minus 10.
250?
150 on the back.
So
On the front, you could be fat as shit, I bet. But on the back, you need to be 150, 160. You know, I've done it with a heavy backpack and about 150 pounds. Jake Quest has been on it. What's Jake Quest weight? Jake Quest is the third ass that's ever been on my bike. So you could be the fourth ass to touch the bike.
I'm over 150 though. I think I'm like 156.
Like I said, plus or minus 10, because I've done 150 with a heavy backpack. So
okay,
like as long as you're sucking in and not carrying too much, I think we could do it.
That's understandable.
Yeah, just don't. If you haven't had breakfast, please don't, and I'll pick you up.
I have not had breakfast.
All right, good. So you should be an empty stomach. Clear it out. I'll pick you up. We'll be here in 40.
All right. Well, Nate, you give us a call back if Bonesy's in. All right.
Cheers, Jake. I'll be on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate, parentheses Nate. He's not wrong, by the way, with the 09 schedule comp. When the schedule came out and I saw week 2 home Bills, I did think of 09 Rex Sanchez, first game, Belichick. We're not here to kiss his rings. Rex sending the voicemail to the season ticket holders that year. That'd be pretty cool if Glenn did that. But you got to win week 1 to really get the hype going. If they win week 1, there's going to be so much hype going into that Bills game. God, this fan base deserves a 2-0 start. When was the last time the Jets started 2-0? Anyone remember? They didn't do it in 20, 21, 22, 23. Obviously, not last year. Was the last time the Jets were 2-0 2015, right? Were they 3-0 that year to start? With Fitz? I'm trying to remember. Usually I'm pretty good. I think it was 2015. They started 2-1 in 2015 because I remember they lost to the Eagles. Didn't they? Brandon Marshall had like the fumble in that game. And then they went to London and they kicked the tail out of Miami, and then they had the bye week after that. I think it was 2015. 2015, they started 2-0. Remember they beat the Colts? Yeah, I remember now. They beat the Colts on that Monday night game. Imagine 2-0. 2-0 headed to Tampa for the AsMANIAC Tampa takeover. God, the vibes are going to be high. All right, last chance to get in here. We're giving you still 90 minutes here. Most of you are not watching the show live today, which I understand because we started at 8:30 a.m. Eastern because I have a work thing at Citi Field. So appreciate Matt O'Leary stopping by early. I will give people another minute or so to enter the raffle. I'm going to give away a signed Anthony Beck jersey. So if you're just tuning in and you're like, hey, wait a second, I got to go rewatch the show, but I want in on the raffle, that's fine. If you win, just contact me. Email me, AsmanJake@gmail.com, and I will send it your way. I want to thank everyone who has sent it a membership. Deanna with a great comment here. Jake, I've been a Jet fan for 30 years. Just got tickets for the London game. Finally get to see the Jets come over to the UK again. Last year, stupid cousin got married in Edinburgh. Or is it Edinburgh or Edinburgh? I think it's Edinburgh, but I'm not British. Damn it. I'm hoping to be there again, Deanna. Obviously, you live there, so you know all about London, but I thought it was an amazing experience for any Jet fan who did make the trip across the pond for London last year. I mean, I thought it was great. I had an awesome time. And shout out to Gangrene UK and Green Smoke. So many great Jet fans. Everyone over there, just tremendous. And what you have to respect the most about any Jet fan that lives in the UK or anywhere in Europe is the start time for these games, especially the last couple of years with the Jets having all the primetime games. It's nuts what they go through to watch the team. 3 a.m. They're up. They're at the Hippodrome Casino, right, where they're showing all the games. We did our party there last year that Corbett and Lavernius Coles and Tony Richardson showed up at. Just awesome. So the Jet fans here deserve a winning team, but the diehards in London and all over the UK, and there's a lot of them. I was blown away. They deserve it too. Nate says it's the two schmucks today. Bonesy's not in. Ladies and gentlemen, memberships exploding. J-Boy, who's got Braylon Allen in his profile picture. Love it. He has just gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Here come the Jets. J-Boy's memberships went to PR, Aaron R., Shane Nitro in my veins, Kaiser Rev, Daryl Osborne, all receiving channel memberships. But wait, there's more. Bo, who yesterday won the signed, framed Don Maynard jersey, he's back for more. Bo on quite the run of winning raffle prizes. He just gifted 10 more memberships, which means he's in our raffle for 10. Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches. All right, let me get to the ones from Bo. Bo, as always, you are appreciated, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Eli Salamanta, John Ardbo, Swanil G. Patel, Matthew Callender, Alex W., Attic, Sean Conroy, Brandon Hallam, Mark Lamore-Union, Rick Hayen. Rick, of course, is based in Europe, so he's one of those Jet fans I'm talking about that has to deal with ungodly hours to watch this terrible team the last few years. He received a membership. Bo, thank you very much. J-Boy, thank you. Making sure I put you guys down in the raffle here. I'm going to compile the names shortly. David says, will Woody ever come on the show? He gave me his word at Klecko and Revis's Hall of Fame induction. I told the story before. And then when I reached out to the proper channels with the Jets, it never happened. So I tried. I was lied to. They were ducking me. And this was when the times were good. Like, it would have been a positive interview only. We were all excited. It was going into the 23 season. That was the best. Just a feeling of excitement. Like, I never had more fun that summer. We had Hard Knocks. We had One Jets Drive. This fan base was so excited for Rodgers' first year. I was doing post-game shows after Hard Knocks episodes on this channel. I had 500 people watching me react to an episode of Hard Knocks every Tuesday night that summer. This fan base is incredible. They deserve a winning team more than any other team in sports. I truly believe that. Think about that. I was able to do post-game shows talking about a TV show. Oh, my God. Hopefully better days are ahead. We'll find out soon, though. Got to win games. All right, here's what I need to do. I need about a minute to get all the names entered into our wheel so we can do a raffle of champions. So I'm going to play a clip. And while this clip is playing, it's going to buy me some time. Now, the question is, Jake, what clip are you going to play? It's got to be a clip that the audience can rally around. It's got to be a clip that the audience feels confident in. And there's no better clip I have at my disposal than this right here.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
Yeah, baby. All right. You know what that means. It means it is now time for the raffle. Who's ready to find out who's winning an Anthony Beck jersey? We spin the wheel right after this.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
The wheel is almost ready. StreamYard's a little slow, so bear with me, folks. I'm about to copy and paste the names here into the wheel. So in the meantime, how about another clip to make sure you guys have something to watch so you don't have to stare at my ugly face.
Hi there, little guy. Are you ready for tomorrow's birthday? Yeah? Are you ready for your birthday tomorrow? Are you getting ready for your birthday? There he is, getting ready for tomorrow. And there's the star of the show.
Hold on, I'm having tech issues here. I can't get the names to copy and paste. What is wrong with you, StreamYard? What is the matter with you? Hold on. Stand by. We will get these names shortly. Appreciate all of you bearing with me here. One moment. It'll be worth your time. 1 second. All right. I need another minute. So, enjoy this in the meantime.
Having some barbecue chips. Well, on your lips.
What's up, Charles? Oh yeah, take us around. Let me see.
This is my table. This is my fridge. This is my my bed stuff, but I had to get a new mattress. This is the couch I've been sleeping on. This is my television, my cable, my Xbox, my one. That was toilet paper. I saw that.
I don't know what you're talking about. A little bit of corn. But hey, congratulations on the house. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll call back. I'll be back.
All right, no problem.
Mets 2128 is up next this segment. What's up, Mets?
Not much. Doing stuff.
Thoughts?
I'm going to be sick. You're literally trying to kill me, Jake. Hello.
You okay there, Mets?
Yeah, I'm just done with the call.
Are you going to call back again?
I'll pass.
Can you at least think about it?
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today. Excellent call.
You get the fuck out.
Mets 2128. Oh, boy. Hello, Mets.
For me, the fact that he barely used guys like Achua, Shamit.
He did use his bench.
But the fact that it took him that damn long to do it is what frustrates me.
So that's a fireable offense in your eyes?
No, I would have wanted it to go at least another couple of years.
You're agreeing with me. They shouldn't have fired him. Did you want him gone after the season concluded? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
It can't be yes and no. It's either yes or no.
Yes. All I'm saying is...
What are you saying? You're not saying anything. You're talking out of both
How
sides
about you
of your
quit cutting
mouth.
me off, you son of a bitch?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what a moment.
You get the fuck out.
Boy, do we have a treat for you right now.
You son of a bitch.
Hello, Mets 212. How are you, Mets?
I think I might have overreacted. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say they shouldn't have fired him next year. They should fire him this year, rehire him, and then fire him. The overtaxing the front five, and it's frustrating. And you know what I'm saying is they got to pivot defensively, and got to go to a 10-man rotation. And even Nate yesterday, he was, Nate, get out of here. He's all like a woolly mammoth. Get out of here, Nate. I'm sorry, Jake. Ah, you son of a bitch!
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
All right, I'm finally ready to spin the wheel. Music, please. Now, while I was getting the names together, Uno Jets at the buzzer is in the raffle for 2. I added his name twice. You see it there at the bottom. So I'm going to reshuffle the wheel of names here. We got 72 entries. The winner is getting an Anthony Beck signed jersey mailed to them. The winner of the jersey is listener Frank P. Congratulations to Frank. He was having issues sending a super chat, getting a membership. He figured out how to do it just in the nick of time. He is the winner of the Anthony Beck jersey. Thanks to everyone who participated. Don't worry if you didn't win. You have a chance to win 4 prizes on the show tomorrow including the full-size Broadway Joe helmet. So, Frank, congrats to you. Always appreciate your support over the years on the channel. That's the show. Thank you to Matt O'Leary. If anyone out there is possibly going to the Met game today, come join me and ESPN New York in Lot E beforehand. Be hanging out with everyone there, which is why the show started earlier than normal today. I'm planning on going live in the late afternoon for our second show, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, love you all. Appreciate your support as always. Go Jets, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Mr. Gorman?
Just say hello, Mom. You're in the mood today. Mom's
How's the
making
mood
a
going?
macaroni salad, potato salad, and also egg salad, right, Mama? No.
Charles, what happened to your neck?
Oh, I shaved.
Charles, you're bleeding.
No, I
Wow.
stopped the bleeding. I put the healing stick on it. Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Charles, go take a shower. Wash that off, pal.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Stop bleeding. Stopped.
Looks great, Charles. You got it all. Perfect. Well done. There you go. Don't move.
Yeah, no. Leave your neck down. Go like this.
Charles, stop, man.
Was OJ at your new apartment? What really happened?
It bled a lot, but I stopped it with the healing stick.
Nate says he just called the Woodbridge police and they're going to be over in 3 minutes.
I'm not bleeding, guys. It's
Charles,
stopped.
stop showing it.
I actually have shaved my peeps in the past, but that's another story.
What does your mom think of this? Go ask her.
I did not shave with a Rambo knife.
Charles Gorman, First Blood.
Get the movie posters ready. Here we go. Coming to theaters this summer. Charles First Blood in theaters. July 1st. This is just too funny. Genergy says, go clean yourself up. She's a lady telling you this.
Fine, I'll clean up. I'll call back later.
Charles Gorman stars in Platoon. Looks like you got shot, Charles.
Are you done?
What do you mean, you people?
Mrs. Clifton watching alongside me on the smart TV, and she's troubled by Charles's wound.
Charles, you'll do something in 2 weeks that makes us totally forget about this shit.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Charles, a week ago, you called into a show taking a dump.
Totally forgot about it.
So you'll one up this. I'm not worried. It's what the greats do.
Mom, do everything rubbing alcohol? Found it. Let's sing right now.
What'd you do with the shirt? Throw it in the garbage?
Do it in the dirty.
No, you gotta take the blood off of it. Put my clothes.
I didn't put it down on the floor.
Well, rinse it out upstairs in the sink so all the blood comes out of it.
I don't care for that movie. Oh my God, you guys are unbelievable.
One more movie that Charles is starring in, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never change, Charles.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.